This is my first video in a series of me going after social stigmas and taboos and smashing them to bits, because it's time, and it's time that someone takes a sledgehammer to some of these pretty ideas that are made out of porcelain, and people are terrified of not fitting into the mold. So today we're going to start with marriage, and then we're going to move on to kids, and we'll move on to different things, and we'll go through a series of different things that we have to maintain public appearances, and we're taught by the group and by society to be a certain way, that things are a certain way, or they should be a certain way, and they should feel a certain way, and they should look a certain way. And I'm going to take all this nonsense and I'm going to smash it to bits, and I think I'm going to feel really good about it. So let's take marriage. You know, we're taught when we're little with Disney this happily ever after myth, this idea that love is this stagnant, innate object that you just have to attain like a jewel in your crown. And with this thing, you will surmount everything, and you will live happily ever after, and you'll gaze into your lover's eyes, and stars will sparkle in your eyes, and you will smile till the end of time. Okay, so let's take that, and let's just get rid of that, because that creates a whole sense of expectations, false expectations, ideas that love is a fixed thing that doesn't need to evolve and change and grow and work and go through the mud and go through the pain, and that people need to learn how to resolve conflicts and say when they feel bad and say when they don't have answers and say when they're angry. Because it's not just this romantic honeymoon period of being deeply in love with your lover and your wife or your husband, and that all you need to do is feel the love that you have for them, and everything's going to melt away, and all you need is love, da 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 da. And it's not true. Love is a verb. It's a verb, and it's got to be a workhorse. And people need to learn that there are times that suck. And the stuff at the beginning of the honeymoon period of a relationship that you're like, oh, it's so sweet that she does that, and oh, it's so cute when he says that. You know, when that honeymoon period ends, it becomes a little bit more like, why does he do that all the time? Why does she do that? Why does she need to organize her spices that way? Why does he need to be this way every time that, you know, the baby is crying? Why does he always dress this way? Why doesn't she shower more? Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff that we end up not liking about each other, and there's no room to dislike. There's no room in this idealized version of this stagnant version of love for growth, for work, for getting things wrong a million times, for learning how to resolve conflicts, for learning how to work as a team, for learning how to tell someone that you don't have an answer, or you don't know, or you're scared, or you're sad. Love is about respect and support and partnership. And ideally, it's not about this codependent mess of two people that sacrifice their dreams and their paths and their goals and their worthiness to be in this unit that's making them both feel miserable. Love is about individuality and independence, and two people standing strong, chasing their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, and working hard to be happy next to each other, and supporting each other. And if one of the people has weaknesses, the other shows up to support it. And one of the persons has strengths, well, then the team uses it. Love is about going into the routine of the day-to-day boring mess of monotony and finding each other in there and smiling because maybe it wasn't what you dreamed of it being. And maybe there's going to be weeks or months where you're doing the same thing every day and it feels boring. And you have to laugh, and you have to find spark in each other's eyes, or you have to find motivation and support and kinship. Love is about learning how to communicate. You know, we're not smooth, pretty puzzle pieces that fit together perfectly. We're messy and we're prickly, and we all carry baggage, and our stuff spills over into our marriage into our relationships, and sometimes we lash out at people when we feel bad or we feel sick, and sometimes we don't know how to express what we're feeling because we don't even know what we're feeling. And love is about being in that mess with someone else and saying, oh, I feel bad. You know, can I just get a hug? Can I just talk about what I feel about the music in the background of the video? You know, it's looking towards your partner and realizing that you guys are in this together. Realizing that you're mirroring each other, that sometimes you're gonna rub each other the wrong way because not all the aspects of your personality work well together. And there are things that you don't like about each other, and it's okay. And it's okay to have space for feeling bad, and it's okay for having space for disliking your partner sometimes, and having space for not being the pretty couple on Facebook that's smiling all the time, that's holding each other and saying, oh, I'm so glad I found you and I'm so deeply in love, because you will have those moments, but it's not all the time. And this kind of societal idea, this concept of happily ever after is damaging. I think it creates more divorces. I think it creates more antagonism and resentment between people. Love is about changing and evolving, and two human beings who grow and become different people and learn how those new people can exist together and love each other and work together. And love is about this commitment to do the work together, and it's work, and it's messy, and it's sloppy, and it's beautiful, because it's human, and it's imperfect, and it's fallible. And there's something so beautifully relaxing, and it's a relief to know that you could just kind of be yourself and not be perfect at it. Because this idea of happily ever after is this perfectionist myth that's hurting people. So, to conclude, without rambling on too much here, I'm very happy to smash the paradigm of happily ever after and replace it with getting messy and dirty together and looking at each other and laughing your butt off because both of you are covered in mud and you don't know what you're doing, but you know that you're in it together, and you know that you have a partner and a teammate that you can rely on. And that's love and marriage.